The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tokucast Reviews, episode number 141.
Yes.
We're going back to Indonesia for Satria Garuda Bima-X.
The last time. Because I think there's like a animated series for this afterwards. And there's also like a one episode other thing, but I'm not going to bother in all honesty.
But back to Indonesia once again for the sequel to the last one, Satria Garuda Bima.
Yeah.
Well,
I like this more than the first one.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
It still has a lot of the issues that the first one did. That CGI especially.
You know, didn't bother me as much this time. I think overall the production values have improved.
Not by much, but it did improve.
I think they have. I think
it's also just because of the fact that I'm looking at this just as itself and seeing a lot of the way that, especially the way that they do like final attacks and stuff, they really like impact. Except occasionally where they just blow up everything and next thing you know, you see a tree on fire. And you're just like, the hell is happening? Why?
Collateral damage.
I'm going to talk about the opening, though.
Okay. It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah. A little bit atonal. Weirdly enough, the ending is in
The
Japanese.
singer is atonal, but the music itself is not bad.
The ending is in Japanese. I like the ending. I thought the ending was actually quite good. Because he was, the singer was in tune.
So, shall we good, bad?
Yeah.
Good, bad, this? So, starting with the good. What did you like? Anything?
There's one episode in particular I really want to talk about. Actually, there's two, but I really want to focus on one. There was one episode where, like, the monster of that week was making everybody, like, have nightmares and fall asleep. And there was one point where Iron Mask, because he's back, told his foot soldiers to attack Bima and Azazel. And he looks over, and the foot soldier is just asleep. And I don't know why that was so funny to me, but that was like the hardest I laughed at this entire show.
It's, I can say that for more than some of the other comedy in the show. But
God, the comedy in this show was not great. We'll talk about that later.
Other good things.
I got to talk about episode 17, which is like the first time we see Torga.
Okay.
This episode was just like, what if men, but shirtless?
Wonder why that appealed to you.
You know what? I agree.
I think you're onto something here.
I agree with that, yeah. They made Azazel just get shirtless. The dude who's playing Dimas, who is jacked, was like doing, I don't know exactly what the fighting style is called, but like a little bit like some incorporation of capoeira. But although he was like a major grappler throughout most of the show. I don't really know a lot about Indonesian martial arts, but yeah, they were just like shirtless men the entire time. And I said,
you get one point.
Agreed with that. I agree with the things because you did what needed to be done.
Well, I'm glad we have our priorities.
Yeah, that was my priority.
I will say one of the things I liked, overall, I think it is a pretty handsomely made show. Overall, yeah. I felt like the production value, suit design, like overall aesthetically, I feel like it was a big step up from the last one.
Agreed.
I think one of the bigger strengths of the previous season was the Indonesian iconography and overall just setting, because it was just fresh, it was different.
Yeah.
And it's all still there, but it looks better.
Just the camera quality is a little bit better.
The camera quality is definitely better. They're shooting it in HD this time, and it definitely looks better. Certainly, at least the version I saw certainly did.
The story this time was better. I'm going to put that as a marginal thing because I believe it mostly boiled down to the fact that the villains were a lot more interesting. And I say that because the villains all hated each other.
That is an interesting dynamic, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Iron Mask hates you.
The competitiveness was something that I liked. The suit designs I thought were better this time around.
Yeah, the actual monster suit designs, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the monster suits in this were actually quite
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Even the stock like black cloak with the mask, I even thought looked pretty good because the masks were really well designed.
Who won't agree there?
Okay,
Who will die?
Well, it's their own. It's their own. I thought the masks were well designed, so I thought it was like a good uniform look. And then when that comes off or whatever, and then we introduce the real monster, and then that happens.
The monsters were
good
very
stuff.
like I really appreciated the monster design.
I think the fight choreography was better this time around. Did you not?
Yes, with the caveat.
Okay, what's your caveat?
The editing. But I really want to save that for the bad and Terra bad.
Okay, we can get there.
Yeah,
but I think the choreography overall
was tighter.
Was tighter. I think they do interesting things with the fight scenes more this time around. Yeah. Especially when we have our heroes taking on groups of foot soldiers.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like we're gonna surround you and you're gonna find some way to push us all back.
Yeah,
that happens a lot and that's always cool to see.
Yeah, it really is. Like I said, there were more things that I liked in this show proper. Mm-hmm. Even as a sequel and even not seeing the movie in between hand, I really appreciated the things that, they wanted to do more in this season. Because we didn't really coming off of season 1 liking it that much. But I see here I'm much more positive this time around because it actually felt like they put a bit more effort into the things that they were doing in this season.
I don't know if it's so much as that they put more effort into it. It's that they learned lessons from the first one.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the first Indonesian Toku series?
I believe so.
And then this would probably be the second one. So it feels like they learned lessons from that and also looked more to Japan.
Well, they were partnered with Ishinomori for both.
True enough, but also like it really feels like, all right, we're gonna watch some Kamen Rider, we're gonna watch some Sentai, and we're gonna look at like filming locations, we're gonna look at camera, we're gonna look at choreography, and we're gonna try and emulate that and bring our own sensibilities to it. And
yeah,
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Anything else stick out to you as good?
I weirdly enough, I really like Azazel's death scene at the end of the show.
Okay.
They made that one pretty damn brutal, where like his face started cracking when the evil was taking over, and then he just exploded. And I'm just like, ooh. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect them to go that route, but I really like what they did there. I thought that was really interesting.
Another thing that I liked is, I don't know that I felt it as much as I did in the first series, but there is something about the Indonesian Toku that we've seen where it feels like our heroes are more the people's heroes.
Yeah, they do have more interaction.
There is more public interaction and knowledge of our heroes, and it feels like they are more public figures than Kamen Rider or Sentai do. Because, well, to me, a lot of the Toku that we watch, pretty much all of it, it's the fantastical hidden amongst the mundane.
Yeah,
everything is it's normal everyday life. Then the monster shows up, and then our heroes show up. They defeat the monster, and life just sort of continues. We never really see the man on the street perspective.
Yeah.
We never see news reports talking about... I mean, we have in the past, but like we don't usually see news reports talking about the monster attack. We don't see news reports interviewing our heroes and asking them, how their fight went. And we don't see people running up to them to thank them for saving them.
Yeah.
We see them run away, and then that's it. And then we fight our monster.
Yeah.
And in Bima, it feels more like there is a sense of community here.
Yeah, it really does.
And that's something I'd like to see. I'd like to see that in Japanese Toku more. I feel like one of the closest things we've got was that amazing episode of Ultraman X with the news crew.
Yeah. There are things that I have problems with, and we're going to talk about them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But, yeah, it really does stem from that, because I have issues. It could just be me, and me not liking certain things, but yeah.
Shall we move on?
Might as well move on, just come on to last week, because we always do as we do. Want to start with this. After they transform, we do not need posing and saying of name because of the fact that the monsters are just circling around them the entire time. It was such a weird direction choice, and I felt like it was more, we need to sell these toys more than anything else. We're just going to have like the entire posing sequence that when at least when Sentai does it, they're usually off to the side.
It's them. I mean, or you do a Tokuger thing where you have it so the monsters can't get near them. But usually in Toku, we have them doing their poses and their roll call, and they are like isolated from the action. The camera's focused entirely on them. Or
they end up doing it so they integrate it somehow into the fight scene.
Yeah, I love it when that happens.
I love that so much. Yeah. But they very rarely do it in Bima. So it feels really awkward after they transform.
It's the monsters patiently waiting.
Yeah, that's exactly
for their turn to attack.
It's the Sailor
Moon. Like it's a turn-based RPG.
It's the Sailor Moon thing all over again, where the Sailor Moons are out there just voguing and transforming and everything. And
the monsters just like.
They actually did play on that one time though, and I thought it was in that same episode where the mooks fell asleep.
Yeah.
Where the monster was like, Bima was over there transforming, and the monster was just reading a newspaper. It was like, I don't know who directed that episode, but it was so quality. It's just the comedy pacing in that one. It was really well done. I really enjoyed that. Speaking of Satria Garuda Bima-X, we do not need a name for everything. We got real Power Rangers up in here.
Neo Saban Power Rangers.
We got real Neo Saban Power Rangers where they're shooting things and say shoot. And I'm just like, we don't need Garuda spin, Garuda punch,
Garuda walking forward.
And I'm just like, oh, God. It got annoying. It got really annoying. And I think that's one thing that just sort of took me out of each episode when they did that. Because every movement needed a name instead of just letting movement happen. I hated it. Trash. Another thing. And you'll probably agree with me on this.
We shall see.
The main characters were bland AF.
I would say that about mostly everyone, not just them.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
This was a problem the last show had too.
Yeah. They're missing grit, and that's the main thing.
They're missing grit. They're also missing a good script.
Yeah.
They're missing anything compelling or engaging.
Yeah.
They're just Toku heroes.
It's like
it's like they wrote Toku hero on a napkin and was like, that's your motivation. There you go.
It's like we had Iron Mask and the Yellow Monster. I can't remember his name, but he was the reporter.
Yeah.
Fighting against each other, but that ended earlier than I really felt it needed to. So when that ended, it's just like, all right, that was the most compelling thing that you really had going, and you really didn't do much with it after that. Even when Iron Mask turned into Evil Torga, I'm just like, I guess.
I guess
that's fun.
Comedy.
The uncle.
Him, but also pretty much all the comedy.
Yeah.
It feels like bad improv.
I laughed at one episode in this show.
And was that the one you mentioned earlier?
Yes. Where the sleeping and all of that was happening.
It feels like on the day of shooting, they said it's like the Ultraman Rube problem. Ultraman Rube, I felt, had the same problem where it's like day of shooting, they were like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if... And then they gave them a comedy scenario, but they didn't, like, it doesn't feel planned. It doesn't feel like it was rehearsed at all.
Nope. That was upsetting.
Amongst many other the word I'd use, but okay.
You got all these Power Stones. I really felt like every 15 seconds they said the word Power Stone. And I...
wanted to play Power Stone 3, which hasn't been released.
Yes, but also... that it started to lose meaning. The more they said it, the less it meant. Just like we got the regular Power Stones, the Super Power Stones, we got the synthetic Power Stones,
the Infinity Stones,
and I'm just like, stop saying the word Power Stone. Unless you're Capcom and the next words out of your mouth are Power Stone 3, I don't want to hear a damn thing about a Power Stone for a very long time.
That should have been in the Fighting Collection.
It should have been. I think it's just because of the fact that it was the only 3D one. Sad face.
So?
Just give me Power Stone 1 and 2 remastered. That's all I want. And 3. Do all those things. What else? Because honestly, forgetting.
That's one of the bigger sticking points about the show is the fact that it doesn't stick with you.
No.
You'll pardon the expression, because it's like a lot of things I've watched for this channel, it never really becomes engagingly good, and it's not bad enough that it gives you anything to really rant about.
Yeah. It's
just that, like, it reaches the dizzying heights of, like, basically serviceable.
Yeah. Also, that's a fun thing. So the guy who actually played Ray was a suit actor as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is cool.
I always like it when that happens.
We could talk about the outfits here.
I like them.
I do like them for the most part, and this is where I sort of straddle the good and bad here. Mm-hmm. Not a big fan of all the extra straps on the suit, though, because they do look a little wobbly because they don't attach to anything, especially the bottom two. I really wish this could just be a me thing, that the base suit changed color when he changed form. Instead of
that's not just a you thing. I would agree.
Instead of just keeping the red, I feel like the base
that's something. I mean, we've seen that in Kamen Rider countless times, where they get like a big overlay, but the base suit doesn't change, so you get a clashing of colors, and it just doesn't look like it matches.
I'm just like, I understand what you were going for, because they do change the helmet and usually something on the shoulders and legs, but I really felt like the red should go, and it should be replaced with purple, green, or blue.
I agree.
I will say, though, this is one thing that I actually love. There was no water form in this, and I thought that was going to happen. So that sort of defied my expectations.
Right? Well, there you go.
We got a storm form, which, oh my god, the CGI on that. It was PNG that half of the time when they were doing some of the editing in this. I thought the Earth mode was pretty cool. Magnetic mode was a surprise. I didn't see that form coming at all, because it's not something I think I've seen since Forza.
Yeah, Forza had magnet states.
And I'm just like, you know what? Appreciate it. Yeah, so very much so appreciated. Dimas, who played Torga, could have a better suit. And I think, honestly, the biggest issue with that was the helmet.
It's okay, I would say.
I think the helmet is really enough, a little bit too squashed. It needs a little
bit I can see that.
Needs some fins going out or something.
Yeah.
Or at least some claws, but yeah, it just looks a little off because of the way that it works. I do like the fact that he had a Siberian tiger form. That was, just a cool thing.
Beautiful animal.
Are cool. But yeah, outside of that, the whole thing with Parallel World, I did not care for Parallel World.
You did not care for Parallel World?
I did not care for Parallel World.
Okay.
I thought Parallel World was mentioned in the first, and they really didn't bring it back till about halfway through the second. And I'm just like, no.
I don't think this was well planned out.
Honestly, this is mostly my mind at work. But when Dimas and Randy first met each other, and Randy and he were like really at each other's throats, I'm sitting here like,
now kiss.
Just like, I would like to see it. But yeah, this show is definitely better than the first season. You got anything else bad or terrible?
Just the script. The acting is okay for what they're given, but overall it's just not a good script. It's not engaging on really any level other than mostly superficial at the time.
Yeah, very superficial.
So yeah, an improvement, but still this isn't a recommend for me.
I'd agree. That's it. Next time.
Spielbahn?
We're doing Spielbahn next. So, here's how the schedule is going to go for next little bit, because this will be coming on the 23rd. Spielbahn will be on the 6th. On the weekend of the 19th is going to be us playing Pokemon. So, Matt and probably Sam and you and me will be here interacting with you all, so that'll be fun. The last one of the year will be on the 4th. And I'm not 100% sure on what direction I want to go with that yet. But it might actually end up being the next Ultraman Ultra fight. Ultra Galaxy fight. Or whatever it's called. That'll end up being the last one for the year. before we take our winter break. So yeah, let us know what you think about Bima-X in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Let us know.
Recommend some Indonesian movies for me. That's still a bit of a blind spot for me.
Eventually, we will be going to Korea. Because we have the Legend Hero series to do over there. So that'll be fun.
That's less of a blind spot for me.
Yeah, that's true. Let's just do a lot of K-pop. But yeah, don't forget to join us all the things. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching.